All right. So I'm just going to kind of wait for everybody to get in here while I go ahead and figure things out. Let me see if I can somehow get my chat going here. There we go. Okay. Hello. I am live streaming just because I'm going to be working on some projects. Let me know if you can hear me. And my cat joining. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. Looks like we have a few people coming in. Hello, guys. Let me know if there's any audio issues or anything like that. I'm just kind of getting set up. Haven't felt very good, but wanted to do some projects. So I thought I would kind of give a little bit of my process for you guys. And there's going to be a lot of Cat because he loves when I work on sewing projects. He thinks I should hold him 24/7. But anyway, I'm gonna get started. We're gonna be working on a couple of different things, so yay. But I have a bit of a mess going in my sewing room, so don't mind the craziness in the background. But yeah. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I will answer as many as I can. All right. I need to iron this real quick because it's pretty sad here. Hey, Soundboy, thanks. These are the PJs that I sell on my Etsy shop, and I finally made myself a pair. And I don't need this plugged in at the moment, so, but we're gonna come on over here, and you guys are gonna watch me iron for a little bit. And yeah, you can see my cat in the background. He moves all over the place with me. So basically what I'm working on right now is honestly my first ever waddle diaper. And giving it a try. We'll see how this goes. If they work well, they'll be up on my shop before too long. Rise Tall, I am 31 years old. I just turned 31 in November. And bear with me, I have to run and get my scissors really quick, so have a nice view of my cat. Are you coming with me? Okay, here we go. Just wanted to get my... I always have to cut off a lot of strings that happen with fabric. Lots of fraying goes on at the bottom. Okay. All right, and basically what I'm going to go through is kind of just steam this, get it nice and flat and straight. And I'm going to have to move the computer a little bit. There we go. Okay. One moment. Hello. Hi. Yes. I'm not sure. Honestly, we're talking with my boyfriend at the moment because we are possibly going to meet someone and aren't sure exactly what we're doing yet. So I will have him give you a call. Okay. All right, sounds good. You too. All right, we are back. We are back. How is the Etsy shop going? The Etsy shop is going pretty well. I've had several orders from people and getting things done. So I'm excited about the growth that I've seen on there and really looking forward to it. I absolutely love doing it. So I'm super, super excited. All right, let's see here. All right. Yeah, the steam is quite loud. Hello, hello, everyone. Nice to see you coming in. I'm just working on some projects, mainly just cutting stuff out today because I've been having some vertigo, so I have not been able to just kind of sit down and do much sewing because it makes me very, very dizzy. So that's what we're working on here. Just cutting out some fabric. This one I'm cutting out right now, and I'll show you the fabric here in a minute. This one I'm working on right now is a waddle diaper. My first ever waddle diaper. So we're gonna see how it goes. See ya, Sean. Thank you for popping in. All right. So basically, this is the fabric here. It's all the different EVs, and it's absolutely awesome. Now I really need to find my lint brush and see if I can get some of the lint off of it. It'll eventually come off as I'm sewing it. See you guys. All right, I'm gonna move over to my table real quick. Woo. All right, I'm definitely gonna need to find my lint brush or lint roller. Okay. I know I have a lint roller here somewhere. Not sure where I put it, but it's around somewhere and we'll fix that later. I guess, seeing as I cannot find it at the moment. I had it. All right. So this is my diaper pattern that I use. And well, this is a one-way, so we're gonna flip it that way. But I created my pattern out of fabric, or not fabric. I've created my pattern out of paper a lot of times, and just with using it so much, I've had to make it out of wood so it lasts longer because I was literally putting it on, doing so many, doing a lot of different, I had to redo the pattern all the time. And I forgot one other thing, so I will be back. Hi, kitty. Not yet, though. Okay. All right, there we go. And this is my cutting board that protects my table, and my rotary cutter. It just makes cutting out diapers a lot easier. And then I can flip it around. And this is the first time I've ordered this fabric from this company, and so I'm thoroughly impressed with it. It's really cute. So, really good quality, all that jazz. So, but being that this is a waddle diaper, I don't have to use my waterproof fabric. Let's see here. What made me interested in diapers? I've had a lot of like incontinence issues. I had 11 surgeries done on my abdomen, and it actually destroyed the nerves in my bladder. So I have had to use them myself for the last about 10 years. And so that's kind of where it started, and all that stuff. Guys, make sure to keep the chat somewhat relevant and, decent. I really don't want to have to see people harassing each other, just as a warning. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and cut stuff out. Have I been ABDL before? Yeah, I am. Yes, I am an ABDL. I've kind of stated that on my channel, but yes, I am an ABDL. I work with, different people for products. I do both incontinence and ABDL themed clothing. And as far as subscribers, I've got over 2,000 subscribers. I just don't have that many viewers. So, yeah, I don't have that many viewers on my live streams because, it's kind of an impromptu live stream. But I have over 2,000 viewers, almost to 3,000. So that's pretty cool. All right. Okay. Wow, this is looking really good. One downside of my wood pattern is that it doesn't always cut my corners right here very well. I do not have kids. Probably never will due to my genetic disease. You need to get down, little man. I have a genetic disease that we're really trying not to pass on in my family. And so far, my generation is the last generation in the family that'll have this. So no, I personally will not be having children. We may adopt. I do have a boyfriend. We are not currently married at the moment. So bear with me while I get rid of a clinging cat. Come on, get down. Dude. But we are not married at the moment. So, and yes, my rotary cutter is awesome. I don't use it as often as I really should. For some odd reason, I don't know. But it is a good little tool, especially with this diaper pattern and stuff. It really speeds things up for me. And right now I'm just marking my snap placement, or at least the general snap placement. I do make diapers partnered I also make a lot of other clothing. I do have kind of a more vanilla shop, but it's not currently running at the moment just because I have to finish setting stuff up. But on my Etsy shop that I usually have linked to this channel, I sell pretty much all different types of AB clothing, and I'm ever expanding. So, hi, Crying. I'm working on your diaper right now. It's looking really decent. So this is what it looks like. Just cut the front out. So, but yeah, I do a lot of different AB clothing, and I'll have to link my shop for you all here. But if you go to Etsy and you search Binky Girl AB Creations, all one word, and Binky is spelled with a Y, then you'll kind of happen upon my page pretty easily. And then I have a nice little scrap here, which I'm bad and I save every scrap pretty much except for the little stuff like that. And it all goes on the floor for now. No, I personally sew every single diaper that I sell. I do a pre-order thing basically where you place an order and then I sew it to the fabric and measurement specifications. And I do every single one by hand. I don't really have the volume that I need a factory or help at the moment. So that's kind of, maybe someday if I become really, really famous. But I can show you your onesie if you would like to. Yes. One moment. All right. So this is kind of what it looks like. Oh, there's a string. I did have to do the ears floppy, but you guys, this is a custom onesie that I've created for Cryan. It is a Raichu costume, and it's got the belly thing on the front, and then on the back we've got the tail and the stripes, and it's a hood with the ears. So it's pretty cool, and it's going to be paired with obviously this nice diaper that I'm making at the moment. So, but part of the reason, I'll just share a little bit of my backstory with those of you who aren't all familiar with it. I have been sewing since I was about 8 years old. My mom taught me how to sew, and I started making doll clothes and everything like that. And I did branch out over the years as, I learned different things, and I've always been really into the sewing. I'm glad you like it. I'm so glad you like it. It's going to be really comfy. I just hope it's not too big. I'm always worried about my clothing, how it's going to fit the customer. So I'm like, ah. But yeah, I've been sewing since I was 8 years old. Did a lot of sewing for like friends and stuff growing up. And I had to put it on hold for a little while because I was very, very ill. And we're going to see if my rotary cutter cuts this. I was really ill for some time and I could not do any type of sewing. And so when I did pick it back up, I just was sewing kind of for myself a little bit. And I wanted to try and come up with basically a cloth diaper that would work. And I've tried so many of them and they just never really worked. I found a couple that came really close, but they just weren't quite what I wanted. So I've designed my own, and that's kind of where my business really started to pick back up, was sewing the diapers. And I did have a business partner for a while. We had a website, and he ran the disposable end of things and I ran the cloth end of things. And that was really fun. Tech, no, I am not a mommy at all. That's just not my thing. I've tried it for my boyfriend, but that's really kind of as far as it went. It didn't work out so great, and we kind of gave up on that. No, I am not a mommy. All right, so that's all cut out. And see what scraps we can save here. I think today, basically, I'm going to cut out this diaper, and I have another project I want to work on that I may get to as well. But we shall see. I think I will be able to get to that one. I'm not sure I have the fabric is all, so we'll see. All right, and then hey, Captain Jess, nice to see you. Yeah, this is one of my footed sleepers that I make and sell. This was the first one of my new pattern, which I love much better than my old pattern. So we're gonna have to iron this one here. Flannel is kind of an annoying fabric to deal with. It frays a lot on when you wash it, and it does crazy things like this with all that fraying. So getting a Telegram message from my boyfriend / daddy. I do, Michael. I make diaper covers as well. Currently, the only diaper cover I have up at the moment is basically the same style as my diapers. So it's like a snap. I'll show you one of my diapers here in just a moment. I thought I had one in here for this, but I'll show you in just a moment what it looks like. But that's all the extra that I have to cut off, and that's not even all of it. But I will go grab one here in just a moment. Yep. And basically what I use the flannel for is the inserts of the diapers. Normally I do a hemp French terry for my inserts, and I layer that in between flannel, because flannel is what we call the quick absorber. It just soaks up the liquids very quickly. The hemp is a little slower at that, but it holds more. So you always want to pair your inserts with a quick absorber and then a high level absorbency. What materials do I make my sleepers with? That varies. I have two different types right now. With sleepers and onesies and things, you always have to use something that's going to be stretchy. So for my sleepers and for onesies, really, I use either knit, which this is knit here, and I'll kind of show you on this onesie here. But it's a lightweight. It's basically like a little bit heavier than a t-shirt. And it has a two-way stretch for this one. Some of them have a three-way stretch. It does have a little bit of give lengthwise. But I like the ones that don't necessarily have as much give lengthwise because they hold up diapers better. So I make it out of knit, and then I'll pull this one out again. This is a fleece one. So this is basically just a nice warm fleece, and it's a little thicker, a little warmer for winter and things like that. I personally am the type of person that gets hot all the time, especially in this room. But I like them both. It just depends. I do make onesies, Michael. I make pretty much anything you can imagine. I do shortles, I do onesies. I'm going to be working on rompers here soon. I do shirts, I do hoodies. Let's see, what else do I have? I do diaper bags, things like that. And what do you use the fleece or the scrap flannel pieces? Pretty much I have a bin over here that is all my extra fabrics. I'll actually go ahead and show you guys this. You're going to come on a little journey with me. So here is my fabric stash at the moment. Up here is scraps from different projects I've worked on. We've got like knits and stuff here. We've got a couple of fleeces. Pretty much these pieces aren't really big enough to do that much with, so I hold on to them, and maybe someday I'll put them in something, I don't know. When I have a big enough scrap like this one here and these two, I can do hats, I can do socks, all that different stuff. Here we have my hemp French terry. This is what I make my diaper inserts out of, and this is not even a half of the fabric I have for that. So, but this is all my PUL. This is what I make my diapers out of. Let me pull out a piece to show y'all. Okay, I need a little piece that's going to be easy to show. All right, here we go. So PUL is basically polyurethane laminate. It is breathable on one side and waterproof on the other. So that's what the inside looks like. You can kind of see it's shiny. It has a little bit of a plastic on it in the back. And then the front is this, basically what they call a polyester knit. So it's very breathable because of the way it's done. It's wonderful fabric. I absolutely love PUL. And I have a ton of scraps and stuff. I was donated some fabric that didn't quite meet the standards. Either it was double printed, some of them, or there was a slight flaw in the design of the print. So I've gotten a lot of what they call seconds. And so yeah, but that's what I make it out of. Usually, this waddle diaper is not one to be used because usually you don't use a waddle diaper. It's just kind of there for looks. But yeah, so. But this is the flannel I got for the inserts, or for the padding of the waddle diaper. It's just a regular flannel. I'm debating if I'm going to iron it. Probably not, because it's actually not too bad. So, let's see. I did get an extra yard of it. So, let's see. I think I'm going to cut this in half and go from there. Flannel is an annoying fabric. It shrinks like crazy, and my cat wants to be on it, of course. Snitch. He's sliding. How do I get my measurement? You mean for products that I'm selling? Pretty much I have everybody measure certain measurements on their body. The patterns I use do come with some standard measurements, but there's always going to be a couple of extra measurements I need. Like with my onesies, I always need a torso measurement. Basically, the torso measurement is the length from the neck down to the middle of the crotch. So I always get that torso measurement from everybody so that I know whether I need to lengthen my standard pattern or shorten my standard pattern, one of the two. A lot of times I will also have them, you know, you do need to know your measurements a little bit if you're getting custom clothing. But those measurements are kind of based on the sizes that I offer. So like with my onesies, I offer, I think 4 or 5 different sizes, and I have like all the measurements that I need are listed. So basically like with this one, I need the chest measurement or waist measurement, whichever one is bigger. And that I list, okay, this size is this measurement, that size is that measurement. You base it off of that, and then in your notes and stuff, you'll send me your different measurements that I've requested. And for each product that I make, it's different. For the onesies, I just need a torso. For the sleepers, I need basically sleeve length and height from neck to floor, things like that to really make this properly a customized pattern. And you need to move. really. You're such a love bug. And now he's purring. All right, flip. So we're gonna do the scary yet fun part of this. We're gonna go ahead and cut it in half. And we're gonna go ahead and move the cat, because now comes the fun part. I hate doing this, but it rips it, and it actually does it on a very straight straight line. Snitch, you can sit on that, because that one's going to be for me. All right. And basically what I do with my diapers is I kind of fit as many inserts as I possibly can on this piece of fabric, and I cut them out. Basically, I'm going to measure this. Now, I may iron this piece. Yes, I do make cloth diapers. Oh, I was going to show you guys one here. Give me a sec. I'm just going to kind of estimate how many I can fit on here. 1, 2. I wonder if I should go the other way. Basically, I just need this one to have a little bit of height to the diaper, but also to just kind of make it the kind of casing for the rest of it. I have an idea on this one. Let me go grab a cloth diaper to go ahead and show you all. I thought I had one in here. I do. Okay. Actually, wait a minute. Go with the smaller one here. That's easier to show. Actually, this is a diaper cover. So whoever was asking about diaper covers, this is what you're going to kind of see here of mine. Just putting it together a little bit. So this is my medium cover here. This is for my boyfriend. I did this one as a custom art job for him. But that's what it looks like. It has 5 snaps on the front, 3 on the top. This helps hold up the wing so it doesn't droop so bad. And then we have 2 sets here. And then each diaper has 2 sets of snaps on the wing itself. With this one, I used a different fabric in the past. This is an athletic wicking jersey. It allows everything to go through it into the absorbent layers of everything. And but this is the cover. The only difference between my covers and my diapers is this space right here. On a cover, this is just completely closed. There's no opening at all. And then on the diaper in the back, wherever the back is, in the diaper in the back, we have the opening where you can insert all the absorbency. And basically, I don't have an insert on hand at the moment, but it's 4 layers of fabric, 2 layers of flannel, 2 layers of hemp French terry, and I use about 4 of those in a cloth diaper. All right, razor blade. My crafting level, I have been crafting since I was 8 years old, and I am now 31. So my skill level is definitely greatly increased quite a bit over the years. When it comes to crafting, I don't necessarily do a ton of crafting. I do more clothing, but I do a little bit of crafting here and there. So we're going to get started on this part of the diaper. We're going to move it so that I can. The main bulk to the diaper is actually going to be I'm using toweling on this one. I don't usually use this for absorbency purposes because it really doesn't hold that much. So, yeah. Michael asks, have you ever thought about designing disposable diapers? Yes and no. The only way to really do that is to work with a company, and I just don't necessarily have the wherewithal to do so. I'm kind of leaving that up to my favorite companies at the moment because they've got basically got the monopoly on that. And I really don't think that I could personally contend with them at all regarding disposables. So I'm kind of, why is this not working now? Well, guess we're doing a different method with this today. But I'm kind of just sticking to my personal, it's really a hobby for me for the most part. I just enjoy sewing and and making things. So for me, it's just a bit of a hobby that I can make a little bit of money off of on the side. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment with that. So, what are my favorite diapers? Oh, Tykables hands down are my favorite diaper. I think they have the best absorbency, the best fit for me personally. They've been having some stock issues recently, but they seem to be back in stock right now. So in the next month, I will purchase a case of them finally. Normally, I like to go with their size 3 or their extra large, but I can fit in the large at the moment, so I'll probably order those. Because I don't know if they're actually coming back with the extra large, which I think is a little not a great plan on their end. They kept saying end of the year, and it's now 2 months into the year, and they still don't have them back. So I'm not sure if they're coming back or not. I know with their new diapers that are coming out in April, they don't offer an extra large, so that's kind of where I'm thinking they're not going to sell the extra larges. But I currently am using, at the moment, I'm using the ABU Simples. So that's what I've got on right now. That's what I have in my closet. Why do some people like plastic back diapers, other like cloth diapers, and while others want the waterproof paper like diapers? Honestly, it's all up to preference. And in the AB community, it's a lot of kind of more what people grew up with. People who grew up in the late 90s prefer the, like the newer type where it's the breathable disposables. Whereas people who grew up early 90s and even before that, if you're like me, we grew up with the plastic bag. For me, I didn't have a preference based on anything like that. Using them for years now, I've tried both, and I find that plastic is far superior to the breathable diapers. As far as like the disposable breathables, you get a lot of micro holes with that. So there's a lot of like fluids that seep out of the diaper itself, and that is just gross. Cloth diapers, a lot of people like them because of their reusability, and it saves money in the long run. You do have to invest quite a bit of money to go fully cloth diapered. I mean, I estimated it out one time, and if I had to spend close to $1,200 just on a diaper supply that would last me a week if I wore each diaper one time in that week. And the reason for that is because if you don't use the same one over and over again, it's going to last longer. But that's basically, it depends on, some people really like the reusability, the environmental value to that, and things like that. So it just varies for people. I personally just stick with my disposables for the most part. I do have some cloth, and I do use them sometimes. And there was a period of time where I wore those exclusively, but it's just got to be too much work for me because I am somewhat disabled. I have seizures and things like that, and it was just too much work for me to keep up with it. Do you use liners and diapers? I'm not sure what you mean by that. if you want to kind of expand on that, I'd be happy to answer that question. I just am not totally sure of what you're going for there. Do I use liners in my disposables or my cloth? When it comes to my cloth diapers, I only use them for bladder issues. I do have some incontinence issues for the bowel, but I have some control over that. So I don't really, I try not to use cloth if I'm in a bout of bowel issues. Disposable liners. I do not. I've thought about it, but honestly, I just don't want to have to deal with the level of cleaning that it takes in a cloth diaper. The only reason you would use a liner in a cloth diaper is because you are using it when you have bowel issues. And I really steer away from my cloth diapers if that's happening. Because I don't want to deal with that mess. With a newborn baby that's on like breast milk or formula or whatever, or breast milk actually, you don't have to worry about that because all the poop is, it's basically water soluble, so it doesn't really affect it. When you come to being an adult, then you have to worry about it. You cannot run the poop through the washer with the diapers. And that can't quite fit one there, so we're gonna move on over here. Let's see what else I can fit. I know I should be able to fit one more layer. I might have to kind of angle it a little bit. No, that one's not gonna fit. Oh, there we go. But I pretty much just stick to my disposables at this point because I don't have much of a desire to deal with cloth at the moment. It's just a lot of energy that I don't have right now. So I have all my cloth diapers. I just haven't been using them. So yeah. Yeah. All right, so that's cut out. Those layers are cut out. And they're ready to go. So there's some of the thickness of the diaper. The rest of the thickness is going to come from my terry cloth. So pretty cool. Any other questions you guys have, please feel free to ask. I am willing to pretty much answer anything. If you get too personal, then I'll let you know. But feel free to ask away. It gets really warm in my sewing room, and I don't know why. Like beyond bearable. I am feeling okay-ish today. It's been a rough couple of days just because I've had a lot of vertigo happening, and I hate vertigo. Basically, vertigo is extreme dizziness. It runs in my family, so I have obviously been cursed with it. But I'm feeling a little bit better today, which is very, very nice to know that I'm on the mend. I don't even know if this is going to be as thick as I want it to be. I may have to add some more thickness to this. We'll see. We shall see. It's definitely not as thick as I was hoping it would be, so maybe I'll be picking up more of this stuff. We'll see. But I do have other stuff I can pair with it if I have to. Pretty much with the waddle diaper, it doesn't really matter what's in there per se because you're not really using it. How did I get into the ABDL community? Well, that's too thick. When kind of searching around for support groups for the incontinence issues, I kind of happened upon it. I've kind of always, I never really knew about it because I was a very sheltered child. I grew up in a very, very strict Christian home. So I didn't really know much, I didn't have access to internet for quite some time. I didn't really know much about the community itself. So I really didn't have the ability to research what it was at all or the feelings that I was having as a child. But as I got older and had access to the internet, I kind of, when researching the whole incontinence support groups and whatnot, I happened upon a few ABDLs and realized that, yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with as far as the feelings I'm having. And I've just started talking to people, and here I am today. How has my weather been outside? It was gorgeous yesterday. It was beautiful. It was sunny. It was gorgeous. I loved it. Today is nice and rainy, but it's warm. Here in Kansas, we're kind of getting into our spring type weather. So I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy that it's kind of shaping up. I don't mind the winter. It's just I don't like snow because I'm allergic to snow. But the weather that we're having today is probably why I've been having such vertigo issues. Yeah, it's really raining here too. I'm not overly fond of the rain. I have a lot of allergy issues in the rain, so it's kind of one of those blah days where I just want to curl up and do nothing, but I'm bored, so I want to do something. So I figured I would do something, and I thought, hey, why don't I live stream while I talk to people? They would enjoy that. Why did that happen? Oh, we had a fold in there. So let's see what the thickness of this diaper is going to look like here. I'm not even sure that's as thick as I want it, but we'll take a look here in a minute. That's a pretty thick diaper. We got about 2 inches going, I would say. Here, let's see if I can show you guys here. So right now, this is the inside of the diaper. We got about 2 inches thick. I mean, when you put this in between, when you put this inside a diaper, it's actually pretty thick. But I may add a couple of different layers to it here to make it as thick as I want. Yeah, Jesse, I'm making a waddle diaper at the moment for a customer. First waddle diaper I've made, so this is a new process for me. But I'm enjoying figuring out how to do it. I always like having guinea pigs for stuff so that I can test it out and who are willing to be the test person. So that's kind of what I'm working on today. Probably won't do any actual sewing, but I've got a couple of projects that I can cut out. So, oh, okay, that's good. Another layer out of this one. Oh, no. No. I'm not that thick. Because that would cost me an arm and a leg to ship. No. I'm thinking, well, when you get a cloth diaper all put together, it ends up being like really, really thick. Do you like wearing disposables into cloth? No, I do not like wearing both of them together. The only time I wear what I would consider one of my cloth diapers is as a cover. I don't usually do that because it's just added weight that I really don't need. I don't really need to use a cover or anything like that because I don't care if someone sees my diaper. I'm kind of that type of person where it's like, oh, well. But, sometimes I'll wear one just if I feel like I might be out longer than you know, it protects a little bit more against leaking. So it varies. It really does vary. Now, at the current moment, I'd say this is about, I'm looking at about maybe 2 inches to 1.5 inches thick. But when you put it on your body, think it's going to be curved up like this. So you're really getting, you know, almost like 4 inches of in between the leg width. So it's a lot thicker than it seems. I'm probably going to add a couple of more layers into this just to make it thick, but for now it's cut out. I'm going to move on to another project probably. But yeah, I mean, once you get in this, it's pretty thick. And a lot of people do pair the waddle diapers with a disposable because you don't really use the waddle diaper. You can, the way I'm making it, you can. It's just not going to be waterproof for this one, so you may not want to. But yeah. All right, I'm going to clean up the scraps of this one. So for this, I mean, there's not really enough there to work with, so I'm probably not going to keep that one. And it goes in my scrap pile. I'm covered in terry cloth now, which is fun. All right. Let me go get some water and I'll be right back with you guys. And of course, you're going to follow me. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I do have more flannel, so I could always put that in there. Do you also make? I have not tried that. I have not tried that at all. As far as the period pads go, I don't find that like anything I'd want to use. I'm in a diaper anyway. But do you ever try some kind of spreader pant? That's kind of what I'm making at the moment. I personally have not technically done that. I put on a disposable along with 2 AIO diapers or all-in-one cloth diapers, just to see what it was like. Because of my leg issues, I can't put that much space between my legs. It actually affects my back and my legs a lot. So I don't usually go that thick. It kind of messes up my hips. All right. So the next project I'm going to be working on is an adult baby bib. So here's my pattern. I did get this online. It's one of the only adult patterns I found that I really like. What are my favorite cartoons? I don't know that I have a favorite cartoon. When I'm in Little Space, Octonauts is by far my favorite. But I did not grow up watching cartoons, so I really don't have like a nostalgic favorite or anything like that. I do like Pokemon. I've watched some Pokemon. I like Adventure Time a lot. I've seen a little bit of My Little Pony. It's not like what I would classify my favorite. I do like it, but it's definitely not what I'd say was my favorite. So with this fabric, with this pattern of the bib, it wants me to do like a cotton front, an inside layer that's a little absorbent, and then a waterproof fabric. But I think, I'm not totally sure. Hang on one second. cut 3 and sew them to the body pieces using helping seam allowance, or overlap this piece to this line for a complete pattern and cut 3 pieces. Let's see what I've got room for. Not sure. Ooh, let's try this. Let's see if I have enough of this flannel piece here. I probably do. And we're going to pull out my PUL bin so I can bring it over there. Erg. Whew. This bin is very, very full. All right. What about VeggieTales? I don't like VeggieTales very much. I really don't. I don't know why. It's just not my favorite. I mean, their songs are very catchy. I will say that. All right, so this one, I have a lot of this one. This one is really cute. I actually really like this fabric a lot. But let me see if I can get, this is why I got this one. I don't know if it'll show up here. Find a part that's a little more messed up if I can. I don't even know if that's going to show up. Let's try it. If you look really closely, you can see outlines of dinosaurs behind these ones. So it was double printed, and that's why this was donated. But I seriously have like 5 yards of this stuff or something like that. It's a lot of it. And I don't know, maybe I'll make some discounted diapers out of it. Right now, I use ABU Simples. It kind of goes back and forth. I did use Crinkles or Better Dry for a little while. It varies. My favorite is Tykables. So as soon as I get money from my orders and stuff, I will be ordering some Tykables. Ooh. You have Depend plastic back. Ooh, I feel sorry for you. Tranquility and Depend are. I did use Tranquility for quite some time, just because that's what I could afford on my disability at the time. But they have a very, very detrimental flaw to them, and that is the padding in the front is really low, and I need something that goes a lot higher. They're okay for their price. They really are, but I'm not hugely fond of them. Basically, I'm just trying to find a piece that is big enough to go on the back of this. I've always liked this one. Let's see here. Kind of looking at making a guinea pig here, or making a test one at the moment. So there should be enough there. I could do it. I really can probably fit them out of any of these. But I like this one. What was wrong with this one? This is one I purchased for myself at some point, I think. What was this one donated? I don't know. But I always save the leftovers that I have from customers because, you know, if someone orders it again, I have the fabric on hand. So, one of these days I'll have all my fabrics on hand, but not yet. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm really debating what I'm going to do for this one. Hi, kitty. Are you hungry? I have thought about blankets. I actually have made a couple of weighted blankets. Well, I made one weighted blanket for my boyfriend. I have an order for one as well. I make my own blankies for sure that I will be selling at some point. I just have to get one made and get it posted. So that's definitely like a kind of like a comfort blanket. Mine is like, I'll show you kind of the size. I mean, my hope is to make them about 1 yard, like 36 by 36 maybe. That's the hope, just because that's a little bit bigger. But my current one is about this, let's see, this wide by about that long. So I love it, but I do really want a bigger one. And yes, Depends have really gone downhill. I've never ever liked them. I think I'm gonna use this stuff. It's really cute. Phew. Excuse me. All right, Snitch, you need to move, buddy, because I'm putting the bin down. I may make a couple of these today. We'll see. What's up, kitty? You want to get squashed? I'm thinking about doing that. Oh, put it over here. Let's see which way these go. This is up and down. All right. Now we need to flip it this way. Or stay there. Woo, it wants to slide everywhere. Oh, the flannel. Oh, behind me. Let's see if this is big enough for what I need it. It should be. I'm just going to lay this out here. And then I might make this one kind of reversible. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Do I use waterproof sheet? Not at the moment. I have, and I will, before too long. I had one and it just ended up ripping, because when you have the plastic, it gets brittle over time. Like when it gets wet and you sweat and everything, it gets brittle and it rips. So mine totally ripped to shreds. But we have 2 beds in the house. We have a king and we have a twin. Here in the next month or so, I will be getting a crib made, and it's going to be a twin bed. So the waterproof cover will go on that one for sure. I'm debating something here because this one is big enough to make a diaper out of. You'll see. You know what? This one is gonna match my nursery, so I may use that here. But for my first one, I think I'm just gonna do a different one that doesn't have enough for a diaper out of it. So. Look how cute that is. I mean, come on, it's so cute. Yeah, it is big enough to make a diaper. That's why I'm probably going to save it here. I've wanted to make a diaper for myself, but I don't know if this is big enough for my size or not. This is one of the fabrics that was donated to me that had a flaw in the printing. So, but yeah, I'm terrible. I hang on to fabrics that I really like for forever. I have one fabric I bought years ago for something. I just liked the fabric, so I bought like 4 or 5 yards of it. And I've literally saved that fabric for 6 years because I don't know what I want to make out of it. And it's no longer available, that particular fabric. So I'm kind of like, oof, I don't want to make something and then regret it, so I've held on to it. But let's see here. This one is definitely big enough for, well, let's just put it this way. I'm basically gonna hold everything, cut everything out at once if I can. So we'll do that. I'm thinking, other than my diaper fabrics, I really have no fabrics on hand, just because I haven't had the money to just purchase fabrics. So I don't keep a stock of fabric on hand at the moment. Maybe in the future I will. As sales come on, I can always, purchase a couple of different things. But yeah. But I'm thinking here, I'm going to do a plain color layer here. I think, unless this one I have matches this. So let me check something here. Ouch, that hurt. That would go pretty cute. Let's see if there's enough of this one. There should be. Let's see. Move, Snitch. Oh, move, buddy. Oh, yeah, there's going to be plenty. This one is not enough for a diaper, so that one I can definitely use to make a bib. Hey, Alex. Hello. What kind of brand are you wearing right now? Doesn't make a big diaper butt with your onesie at the moment. I'm wearing an ABU Simple, no boosters or anything like that, just straight ABU Simple. I have a big enough butt without getting help from, without getting help from the diaper. I need to flip this over and go this way. Okay, that's driving me crazy. We're gonna cut that off. This kind of is a better depiction. This is a Babyville pea, and they are slightly thicker than the other POLs. I don't personally like these as well, but this, you can see on the back that it's basically, instead of the clear where you can kind of see the print through a little bit, it is white. And I think this is probably I don't know, are they the same width? They might be. They're pretty close to the same width. They just use a different process, and I'm not sure what the different process is. All right, I forgot my pins. No, I did not. Here they are. Normally with POL, you do not pin, but because this is a bib, it's not really going to matter if I pin it or not. So I'm just going to lay it on there and go to town. If I pin within the seam allowance, it's not so bad. You're welcome, Alex. Thank you for joining us. Let's move this. And let's see here. Nope, not Facebook. All right. What kind of incontinence do I have? Technically, I have a form of neurogenic bladder, but I also have what they consider overflow incontinence. Basically, I have no feeling in my bladder whatsoever. The nerves have completely died. And I just put that a little too low. The nerves have completely died. There is no feeling. Hello, D-Nasty. So my bladder will fill and fill and fill until it's completely full, and then just floodgates open. So that's kind of what mine is. I have some bowel incontinence as well, just because they've operated on those muscles a lot. So I have bowel incontinence as well, but basically my bladder just does its own thing. It will kind of, I just never feel it. So when it pees, it pees. I really don't, have much control. I don't have any control over that aspect of it. POL is very hard to pin. And thank you, D-Nasty. Thank you. Where'd that piece go? So I'm going to give it a slight bit of length here. A little bit more length than they say. I almost want to go a little bit taller than that. But anyway, so I might need to move this over if I do that. Yep, I need to move it over. And I'm really considering just using weights on this. It's driving me crazy. We're going to move this over. Yeah. Unfortunately, my fabric won't, or my My rotary cutter won't do all 3 layers. Just cold. Okay, let's see here. Tried to join earlier, poor Wi-Fi. Cold weather, make a difference. Not particularly. There is a little bit of like, if I go outside and it's really cold, it does kind of make my bladder go, whoa, and then I will pee. But it's not really that different, and there's sudden flow, yes. Usually that's how it goes. Sometimes my bladder will eek, I call it, if I sneeze or something. Yes, this is the footed sleeper I made. I love this thing to death. However, when I make my own, I hate having things on my feet. I really do. I really wanted to make it with the feet this time, so I kind of knew how to do it. Because I've never put feet on my sleepers before. And so I did it this time like that, and I know next time I will not be doing that for my personal sleepers. It drives me bonkers. So yeah. But thank you. I love the fabric. It's all these little monsters, a little bit of candy, things like that. And this one is completely snap up. It snaps up the front, as you can see, but it also has snaps all along the inseam and the crotch. However, I happened upon something wonderful thanks to a customer, and I found zipper tape. So basically, I can now do zippers instead of snaps, which makes my life way easier. My daddy hates doing up my snaps. It drives him crazy. He even complains about snaps on cloth diapers. He will not change a cloth diaper because of the snaps. He hates them. So for the sleeper, given that it's more his preference than mine, I will be putting the zipper in the future. So I'm excited to do that. And I'm very grateful to my customer for kind of pointing some stuff out to me on eBay and such. Like, I've looked around before and never found anything. And this time I looked and I found a ton of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, my binkies will go well with my sleeper. I like to sometimes pick fabrics based on whether or not they match a binky. So I kind of did that with this one. It's like, oh, I have a cute little pink binky. It'll go well with this, But I also just really like this one. So basically, I'm just going to cut out this bib. Red sign, you do not need to wear socks with a foot. Yeah, I hate socks. I absolutely hate them. As soon as it's warm enough to wear sandals, that is what I do. I hate socks. I hate shoes. It's like pulling friggin' teeth on me. And yeah. So I am very happy that it's actually kind of nicer weather at the moment, so that I can wear my flip-flop, or not my flip-flops, but my sandals, and my life is easier. But yeah, I don't like feet. I can't sleep in something that has feet on it. I don't know why. It's just kind of always been how I am. I cannot stand things on my feet. If I can get away with barefoot, I will. You said before you have an Instagram. I do, but I'm really bad about using Instagram. Really, really, really bad. I'm not a huge social media person as it is. So my Twitter, I have linked to my YouTube. So anytime like I post videos or something like that, it goes live on Twitter. And Twitter, I can kind of handle using a little bit more. Instagram, I just haven't quite gotten that into it. I mean, I've used it, but it's not my forte. I need to do some more. I really do need to focus on my social media, part of my business, and really share and everything there. I've been getting more into Twitter, so I'm kind of taking it one social media venture at a time. So, hi, kitty. My cat is taking up residence over here. He's right next to me. You can see him right there. Of course, he's sitting on fabric. This cat loves, funny enough, he really likes this stuff. which is the stuff I used to trace all my patterns onto. And he loves this stuff, and I don't know why. My feet need to be free, yes. I don't know why. It's just always been my thing. I hate my feet being covered, except for with like a cotton blanket. And I guess it probably has something to do with the fact that I do have some mild sensory processing issues, very mild, mainly when it comes to sleeping and such. I cannot sleep with certain fabrics. I have to have like cotton, things like that. We have a sheet right now that it drives me really nuts. Everybody's turning to this microfiber fabric because it's really nice, but it's like I can't handle it. My brain cannot process the sensory input from it very well. Yes, I am wearing a diaper. I always wear a diaper. Has my high chair been working good? It does work well. I have not been using it much lately, just because it's in here. Kind of a pain in the butt to bring out into my kitchen. We don't have that much room in my kitchen. In our new place that we're going to be moving into, we have a much bigger kitchen, and we will probably be using it more so then. All right, there it is cut out. Woo-hoo. All ready to sew. Do your feet overheat a lot? Not really. It's just that I can't stand the feeling. I've actually thought, and I'm very strongly thinking, of pulling the feet off of this thing and putting in my cuffs instead, because it drives me crazy. I'm much more likely to wear it if I do that as well. But I kind of just put it on today because I have not been feeling very good, and I just wanted to snuggle up. You know, I honestly should open my window. That would be good. All right. So this is all cut out and ready to go. I will be putting these for sale as soon as I get a couple of these sewn and put together. I will be selling these. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're staying in the same town, but we needed some more room. We have a 2-bedroom right now with the only storage in the house being the closet back here and the closet in the other bedroom. And there's just not enough room in this place. And we're going to have somebody move in with us. So we need the 3 bedrooms. But it'll be nice because the way it works is we'll have, as some of you may or may not know, my boyfriend and I, we are polyamorous. So we're having our 3rd person move in here within a month, and we're so excited. But I will be basically moving into my nursery when we move. Daddy's going to be building a crib. We're going to decorate and all that. So that he's going to hopefully do probably in the next couple of weeks, actually. We are moving at the end of April. Somewhere in the last couple of weeks of April, we're going to be getting our other place set up so that we can get this place clean and ready for the move out inspection and everything. So that's kind of where we're going with that. But we're just moving a couple miles away to a place that has a pool, which I'm so happy about. I have missed having a pool. In our previous apartment, we had a pool. I swam like all the time, and then my seizures started. So I couldn't really swim very often because I do have to have supervision while I'm swimming when it comes to my seizures. So swimming happened like once, maybe twice a year. Now that we have somebody moving in, my mother-in-law will be right down the road, and she can come swim with me. So I'll have a little more supervision. I don't think there's a lifeguard on there, but you never know. So I'm looking forward to having the ability to swim because it's really good for my body to be able to move and have the water, kind of more protective of my joints and everything. But yep, we're going to have a nursery. Hey, you guys, if you're from ADISC, let me know what your ADISC name is. If it's different than here, just so I know who everybody is. But yeah. Will there be some specialties on your crib? I'm not exactly sure yet what it's going to have on it. I am going to be decorating my room in a jungle animal theme. I have my fabrics picked out already. I'm going to be making myself a quilt, probably some curtains, a little, what they call it, that padded crib pad that goes around it. And I'm hopefully going to be making some stickers and stuff, some decals to go on the crib itself. We will see. Fingers crossed. I really would like to have a nicely decorated nursery. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Oh, hi, Wing. I wondered if you'd show up. I'm going to open my window because it's hot in here. And I'm going to cut out some more bibs. This will give the cat something to do too. Oh, it's a little colder outside than I thought. But not too bad. We'll get some fresh air in here. I didn't even see your picture, so it didn't even click. Hi. Okay, it's a little colder outside than I thought, but it feels good. Alrighty, I'm gonna cut out more bibs because I can. And they're gonna be really, ew. Snatch. Why must you puke on things? That has to go in the garbage now. Did you puke on this whole piece? I hate you, cat. You know what? I will set this one aside for my personal use and wash it. Hey, that's the one thing I hate about Siamese cats is they puke. That one is going in the wash. Okay. Problem is I have all this fabric that fits a diaper and I don't want to cut it. But I'm gonna. Woo. The nice thing is now I can do this. Take it apart. And away we go. These ones are just going to be simple and plain waterproof ones. I'm not going to do the whole cat. Yeah, they do. But Siamese cats have a particularly sensitive stomach. From what I understand is they were bred to basically test food for royals in Asia. And so they have very, very sensitive stomachs. But yeah. Okay, I might try this trick here. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to need two sides of this. What am I doing? Derp? Okay. Derpy derp. Well, that is true. It seems Snitch pukes a bit more. Yeah, he's actually not done too bad lately. Wow, it is colder out than I thought. He's not been doing too bad lately because, like, I don't think he's puked at all in, like, a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So I'm happy for that. But yeah, he is a puker. Do you know the pants from Best Fix? No, I do not. I do not know what Best Fix is. Please, by all means, post a link. I'll happily take a look. Oh, crap. Why do I keep doing that? I keep forgetting that the strap goes wider than the bib itself. Not rarity cutter, here we come. I really need to get a new blade on this thing so it cuts a little better. There we go. Really, any fabric, Jessie, that you want, it doesn't matter. It's all what's your preference, you know. It doesn't have to be you know, babyish. It doesn't have to be super adult. It's all your preference. There's pretty much a fabric for anyone out there. You know, there's a lot of places that sell PUL. So is Binky? Yeah, because I go by Binky on like Adisk and stuff. A lot of people call me Binky. I've actually accidentally introduced myself as Binky before. That was a little embarrassing, but yeah, kind of like what Data Junkie said is it really depends on your preference. I've had people who are not ABDL order from me and order a very, very kind of juvenile looking fabric. It is all your personal preference on that. So my cat is getting annoyed with the cold window. I just needed some fresh air in here. My sewing room gets so hot. I cannot stand it. Personally with me, I go for a variety. I have some that are really babyish, and I have some that are more adult looking. It really just depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. Maybe a blade sharpener. Yeah, you can do a blade sharpener, but with this stuff, it's really hard because it is a circular blade. It's not actually that dull, but it's just that it doesn't like to cut through more than a couple layers of fabric. I'm just trying it. I don't usually use this except for on the diapers, but you can get a really precise cut with it, so I'm just giving it a shot. I don't know. It's definitely not my forte of where I don't normally use this thing, so it's definitely not really my strong suit, which I'm just switching. Sometimes it can save my wrist, but not enough to really care. I have tendonitis in my wrist, so I do have to use special scissors for that. But yeah, maybe Adeline. Oh, yeah, I already read that. But yeah. Actually, one thing that a lot of seamstresses use is simply to cut stuff with tinfoil. You know, like to cut into tinfoil with your scissors and it sharpens them. You have to be very careful with your fabric scissors. You know, you only cut fabric. I do cut my patterns out with my fabric scissors sometimes, but for the most part, I just use it on fabric. So I have 2 sets of sewing scissors. Well, I only have 1 set that I protect with my life, which is this pair right here. But yeah, okay. I gotta close that window. That's a lot colder than I expected there. So, yeah. Yep. I really like this fabric. It's pretty cute. Yeah, that's kind of why the Binky is not so offhand. I have a lot of nicknames that I can use. Like my main nickname for my family is Beehee. We knew a kid when I was younger and he couldn't say Brittany, so he called me Beehee. Do I want to see any movies this week? I would love to see a movie this week, but I cannot go to theaters or anything like that because of my seizures. So I'm kind of stuck with that. Why did I just go blank? There we go. Oh, it wants to be plugged in. That could be it. The stream is cut out. Yep. Am I back? Can you guys see me now? Let me know if it's back, because it's back on my end. Ah, okay, good. Perfect. I think it was just complaining. I don't know why. So there's one. And then this really is just a scrap. And the dizziness is trying to set back in. Yay. All right, so. Now what I use my scraps of PUL for is when I am putting in my snaps, I have I have to cut little squares to go behind them. Naked scene. I wasn't. Naked scene is censored automatically. Well, that wasn't the reason, so. All right. Oh, this is another example of a Babyville PUL. It's got the white on the back. And I can't see that's what I'm showing you guys right now. Basically, I have both the actual stream open and I have my own feed open so I can see what I'm doing right now versus what you guys can see in like 20-second delay. So, kind of cool. Alrighty, so we're gonna move that over. Oh, this is barely enough. It's actually not enough. Well, oh well. And this one is kind of messed up too, so not a good one to sew. That one I will end up making a wet bag out of, which I can put inside my diaper bag for if I'm out and not able to throw a diaper away. D-Nasty, I don't mind. You're fine. It's pretty hard to upset me. And Captain Jesse, after the move, is Daddy planning on trying to spend more time at home and only 1 or 2 jobs? Currently, he is working the 2 jobs, but if my business is going well and our other friend is moving here, then we're hoping that he will not have to work his 2nd job. Also, I'm in the process of reapplying for disability. If that happens, then he really won't have to. He said as soon as I get approved for that, he's quitting or giving his 1 month or 2 week notice or whatever, just so that they can train somebody else to do his job. But the goal is to have me making enough money that we don't have to have the support of his 2nd job, because it really does affect the family time. And I don't think that one is not gonna work, but we'll try it. What if we went this way? Nope, it's not. Well, maybe. It's really close. Let's try flipping it this way. And pulling that all the way down there. There's gonna be a 1/2 inch seam allowance. No. So close on this one. So close. Although, haha, I know what I can do. Ta-da. We open it up, and we do 1 layer. Does Daddy want to help make diapers? Yes and no. He does not sew at all. And that will be my responsibility no matter what. He has tried helping me do the diapers in the past, and we've had a little bit of, I'm rather controlling when it comes to that. So, yeah. Pretty much that he'll help with the business end of it a little bit, but for the most part, I will be doing all the sewing and everything. He'll maybe help out with some of the marketing or whatever, but that's about it. Where are you guys coming from? I'm from Germany. Well, I'm obviously in the US, and currently it is 12:51 over here. PM, not AM. So, yeah. It's always interesting when I look at my YouTube demographics as to where the majority of my viewers come from. I'm surprised at how many come from like some random countries. But it's neat. I always like talking to you guys and getting to know you better. And let's see. So, yeah. Smith Falls, Ontario, Canada. I have driven through Ontario on multiple occasions, but up toward the, like we'd go from Michigan to Port Huron, I knew we went through St. Catharines, through Hamilton, places like that. Niagara Falls, like the Buffalo and Niagara Falls areas. I've been to Niagara Falls multiple times. It's pretty cool up there. I have some friends that live in, Sarnia? Or at least they used to live in Sarnia. I don't know if they still do. But we would stay with them a few times. They were just like an hour inside the border or something like that. My scissors are acting grumpy. But yeah. Germany too. I have a lot of people from Germany that happen to find my channel. It's really kind of diverse. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to cut out like 2 more of these probably. Get a couple going. And then I'll probably head off because I got to find something to eat. Okay. Do you wish that you could have a little mommy or a little auntie? I kind of have different people that kind of do that role a little bit. Please don't make a lot of finger cutting. I have yet to cut my finger with my tools, so I've been doing this for 20-something years now. Maybe not quite that long, but I have never cut myself with my scissors. Never, ever. Knock on wood. But yeah, I do have different, what I call bigs in my life that play different roles. You know, I've got daddy, and then I've got some people who are kind of like the babysitters, you could say, that I'm really close with. My cat's just going to town over here on the bed, on the fabrics. He's just sleeping. Oh, it's not comfy, huh? It's because it's PUL. It's not as fuzzy. It's not as fuzzy. But, yeah, Tech, I've kind of gathered that from my dealings with people, is that there's a lot of people in Germany that are either into the whole ABDL thing or in diapers anyway, in general. But yeah. Okay, let's see if he threw up on this one too. Yay, no bark. I'm gonna go on this side. Well, you guys Germany has the benefit of having crinkles be based there, I believe. Or are they Denmark? I thought they were Germany. I don't remember. I've talked to the guy that owns Crinkles a couple of times. Real babies should not smoke. Yeah, I know. But that's something I'm not willing to give up at the moment. So too bad. Definitely not willing to give up the e-cig. I have quit smoking cigarettes, but I have not given up the e-cig yet. So, why ID adult diaper do you get treated like stigmatization? That's something that drives me crazy, but a lot of the stigma is put on by those of us who wear diapers, like I've talked to a lot of people about my incontinence in general, those who are not incontinent, and it's so much of it is the stigma that we put on it ourselves. And people kind of react how we react. If we act super nervous and everything and act like, we can tell that people see our diapers or whatever, people are going to notice and wonder what's up, and they're going to try to find something wrong. But if we're, nonchalant about it and don't really care, people are less likely to even take a notice. Do I have pets? And please show them. I have 2 pets. One I am not going to show at the moment because he's quiet and sleeping, and I'm going to leave him alone. But I do have a bird. His name is Jimmy Hawkins. He's a little stink pot. And I'm just happy he's quiet while I'm in here because he's usually very noisy. Then we have the sleeping kitty. Over here. This is Snitch. He is my baby. I absolutely love him. He is my constant companion. He snuggles, he lays with me. He will make sure he is in whatever room I am in. Now he's purring and snuggling because I picked him up. But he is about 8 years old. I've had him for a little over a year. My ex-roommate owned him, and I pretty much demanded that I keep him. So now he's my baby, and he's extremely, extremely attached to me. As everybody who sees me on video chats will know, he is like, there is a invisible tether between us. So yeah. But like I said, he's sitting right here, just off camera, resting while I cut stuff out, which I'm thankful that he is staying out of the way because he's usually like right in my face. Yeah. I don't do live videos very often. I'd like to do them more because it is fun. I always enjoy doing it because I do spend most of my time alone at home or home alone, whatever. And so it's nice to have someone to talk to and to just interact with people. But I don't have the greatest live stream setup. I am using my laptop camera right now. And so I can't get very much in, so it's kind of just like when I'm sitting down doing something, do I live stream? I can't really live stream during sewing because the machine is super duper loud. But yeah, I try to do them, when I get the chance, when I feel like it. So I am going to hopefully be doing a Q&A before too long, you guys. I made a post about it on Twitter, so definitely please feel free to put in your questions. And Dynasty, you are welcome. It's been fun to be able to help out people, all across the world. I seriously, you guys rock. I have some of the best followers. You guys are always really supportive, when I can't make videos as often as I'd like to, you guys just wait patiently for it. And I really, really appreciate the fact that for the most part, my community is very, not proper, but you guys, aren't, for the most part, my followers are not nasty, which is nice. I have a couple that I've had to block, but you know, for the most part, it's a great community. We actually met our third person the same way I met Daddy. We met on ADISC. Daddy and I met back in 2012, I think. And we knew each other for quite some time before we were dating. And the third person we also met on ADISC a few years ago. We've known her for quite some time. I would say at least 2 years or more. And it's just that she melds extremely well with our group. We have tried polyamory before, and it did not go well just because it turned out that some of us were not really compatible with each other like we had hoped. And that relationship has come and gone. But, you know, it's all a matter of figuring stuff out as you go and, you know, being willing to compromise with people. And seriously, our little family that we've got going now is wonderful. I have to leave. Wish you a nice day. Please announce your next day. I will do so. I will do that, Marcus. You have a wonderful day. My old boss used to be named Marcus. I loved him. He was awesome. In general, the people that I've met with the name Mark or Marcus have been really nice. All right. There we go. Second bib is almost cut out. And yes, these particular bibs will be going up for sale. Not sure of the exact pricing yet, but they'll be there. And under the pins. I keep poking myself. Not as bad as I usually do. But all right, I am going to cut out one more. And then one or two more, I don't know. And then I'm going to have to find something to eat because I'm starving. I have yet to eat today, so. So we have 2 cut out so far, 1 for me, 2 others. We got 2 boy ones. We're going to go 2 girl ones. And I think we're going to do this one with that one maybe on the. How did you get all the puke in here, kitty? You still fear getting discovered outside? When it comes to getting discovered outside, I'm not sure if you mean because of the ABDL thing, or because of the incontinence. I would say basically just don't worry so much about it, because really the community, like, no one really that I have found in the outside world has ever had an issue. You know, with me, I have the benefit of being incontinent. So really, if it comes to them finding out about that, I'm not really that worried. So for me, it's not really an issue. I know a lot of people who are terrified that someone's going to find out, and that's understandable. I've known people who have horrible family relationships, and like their parents are really rude about their incontinence, and it makes me so sad because it's really not that big a deal. So you have to wear your toilet on your bum, no big whoop. But a lot of people make it much more of an issue than it actually is. What are you in the mood to eat? I am probably going to eat a ham and cheese wrap. I think that's what I'm going to eat. I cannot do curry ever. I cannot do any form of Indian food or anything like that. I have to be very careful what I actually eat. Do I have a binky with me today? Not right now. Not really in the mood for it, so it's in the bedroom. So let's see, this one. This one is too, okay. This is one of the damaged fabrics, which is fine. You can't really tell. It just looked like it's supposed to be there. And in all honesty, maybe it is supposed to be there. I don't know. But something I'm hoping to do here in the near future is to be modifying and selling different binkies, which would make me really, really excited about. But yeah, that's something I'm hoping to do here in the near future. Oh, this is my. Give me one sec. I had this particular fabric for a pad. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that would be kind of cute to put on the back of that. Although, I don't know. It's the same coloring. What diaper am I in? I am in an ABU Simple. That is what I have on hand right now, so that is what I'm using. You know what? I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, I'll do it. I'll go for it. We'll go for it. I don't know. No, we're not going to go for it. I'm so indecisive today. This is cut out to be a bed pad, so I don't necessarily want to cut it in, cut it into anything right now. But we'll see. I'll find something different to use. I have plenty of fabrics. I even have more of that one. Maybe I will do that. Wait a minute. This one's cut out too. Yeah. This one's not. I found when people find out someone chooses to wear, they either hate that person, call names, or totally stick around being friends with me. Either a person find out who you are, they're real friends. Yeah, kind of. I have honestly never, ever in my life, and maybe I'm blessed in this area, but I have never had anyone react poorly when they found out. I have never had anyone be like, well, that's wrong. You shouldn't be diaper stripping, make fun of me. Nothing like that. I've always had fantastic support and responses. When I first became incontinent, I had it was an adjustment for my family for sure. But they did adjust. And so it was a little awkward for a while, but they did a fantastic job in, being understanding with me. So I cannot complain at all in that area. But I understand that, it's not like that for a lot of people, and I am lucky. I mean, you might say. So, all right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Some of these pins, I swear. Now my cat's just sitting back there sleeping again. He's such a good kitty. Some of my friends don't like him so much, but he's a good boy. He is really, really helpful as far as my loneliness, because I was working, and for the last several months, it's just been me at home by myself all the time, and it was kind of depressing. But this kitty definitely helps out with that. Okay. I'm not sure I like the combination of these two fabrics, but I really kind of do. I'm very tossed. We're very torn about this. The ABU Simple is a fantastic diaper. Really, when it comes to diapers, I'm not snobby about it, but I'm very, very picky. I would rather pay a little bit more money for a better diaper. And I spend around $150 to $200 a month on incontinence supplies, and that includes wipes, creams, powders, anything like that, diapers. So, that's not really, I would rather spend the money than be miserable in something that does not work out very well, that I have to change 20 times a day. Back when I was on Medicare or Medicaid, one of the two. I'm not sure which one it was, honestly. My diapers were covered through insurance, but only certain diapers. And they were honestly the worst thing ever. I had skin reactions to them. You had to change like 10 times a day. It was just so miserable. I was like, I finally said, you know what? After this, I'm going to go with something that actually works. You know, I was tired of waking up to a soaked bed every morning. And I just was like, I'm done. I'm fed up and I'm going to, you know, spend the money. So I can usually get through I can usually make one case of diapers last a full month if I get the ones that have 80 in them. I usually go between, it varies, usually 3 diapers to 4 diapers a day. And I can usually last pretty close to the month with that. So it's really, you know, if you're spending a little bit more to have less diapers, it kind of evens out in the end. And it's totally worth it. Now, Tech, with your question about that, the issue would be the shipping outside of the country. But I believe Nappies R Us has the ABUs and things like that for the UK. So I would honestly give it a shot because they're really good. There are times when my mental health is less pronounced and out. Time with my anxiety and bipolar tend to act up more. Yeah. I deal with a seizure condition that is caused by what basically subconscious anxiety, and so I understand that issue. All right, one more. So here's what this is basically what this one's going to look like. So the idea I'm going to have with these, it's kind of hard to show in on camera. Let's see if I can tilt it down a little bit. So basically, here's the bottom of the bib. My hope is to kind of pull this up with a snap and form a pocket, more like that probably, to form the pocket. So you'll kind of get both fabrics together. That's the hope, especially with the ones that are not absorbent. There will be a couple of different types. All right, we got one more to do, and then I'm going to go find food. Put that back up for a minute. This one's going to be really pretty. It's going to have pink on the back and the hearts on the front. I've had this fabric for, God, a year or two. I've had it for a long time. Let me see. I'm curious if this will fit. So let's try that. I think it might. Aha. I might cut out 2 of these then. Because I didn't realize you were streaming. I've missed most of this. Glad to see content from you. Yeah, I didn't really announce that I was streaming. I just kind of did an impromptu stream just because I wanted to work on some stuff and I thought you guys would be somewhat interested. To see the process a little bit. That gets weird too long. So I have been cutting out bibs. I cut out a diaper, and now I'm cutting out some bibs that I'm going to be hopefully putting up on my shop here in a couple days. I would love to do streams, you guys. I tend to forget about doing them. Honestly, I'd kind of like to have a weekly stream, but at the moment I can't necessarily nail down a day. So now that I'm not working, I'm hoping to be doing more of that stuff. you know, throughout at least a couple times a month, hopefully. I kind of don't really like to stream if I don't have something to do while I stream. And a lot of my, you know, my project work is at the sewing machine. And it's really hard to stream while you sew because sewing machines are very, very noisy. But I am trying to kind of get back into it a little bit more. Ow! Now I actually poked myself. So, but that is kind of my hope, is to do more streams. I am not much of a morning person either. Today was rare. I'm usually not even, I'm kind of a night owl, and I'm not usually this coherent in the morning. But I kind of went to bed early last night because of the vertigo, and by early I mean like before midnight. So I was pretty rested this morning and feeling a lot better. I'm still not totally undizzy. With vertigo, it's kind of like a switch. It switches on, you have the crazy dizziness, and then it eventually just kind of switches off. And I'm still waiting for that off switch. So it'll come hopefully by tomorrow or something. It'll be gone all the way. I'll take some more meds tonight for it. How was your bowel control been doing? My bowel control has actually been okay for the time being. It's the way it works with me is I usually have control unless I'm like sick and have like diarrhea. Then it's virtually impossible. However, I also have a fissure. So I have a tear in the intestinal wall just inside my rectum. And using the toilet aggravates that greatly. So currently at the moment, I've been, you know, using the toilet, focusing on using the toilet, but I'm getting to the point now where the bleeding is picking up. I'm doing a lot of, you know, there's a lot of spotting in my stools and all that. And that kind of leads me to the point where I have to actually start using the diaper so that I can be in the proper positions to allow that tear to heal up. So while I have control right now, I'm going to have to start using the diaper a little bit more so that I can heal that up and reduce the pain and all that comes along with it. So that's not too fun. I don't really care much, but it's not that fun. It's annoying because, you know, the pain just kind of determines what I do at the time. But it's getting to be about time for me to do a bowel rest, in which I kind of knock down the foods I eat to basically be pureed. You know, nothing like real heavy meat, no raw vegetables. Everything's either, you know, easy to digest or blended up, just because I need that rest in the bowel here. So I have to do that a few times a year. And I always know when it's time because I start to get a lot of bleeding and discomfort and things like that. Basically, I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but there are certain positions that your body should be in for having a bowel movement, and that's to really kind of be in almost a squat position. And, you know, I just have to go with kind of what makes the pain less, I guess you could say. So it kind of varies. I just have to go off, you know, like I would love to get myself one of those squatty potties, because I know that does help reduce the pain and discomfort and the straining, because the straining is really what does it. So, you know, really I have to put myself in a position that is the least amount of strain. And it really varies with that. So yeah, alrighty. It's kind of nice. I was able to get 2 out of this fabric. And you may have noticed I stopped using my my paper pattern because once I cut it out of the fabric, I don't like to have to cut around paper again. So I usually just use the whatever one I previously cut. So yeah, I'm super excited to try out this pattern and see how it goes. Oof, get in there, pen. Alrighty, and one more here. Did you try the Better Dry 10? I have tried Better Dries, at least whatever the current version is. I have never tried the older version of them. They're not my favorite at all. In the US, we can get them for about $100 for 60 of them, I think it is. I think it's 60. But really, I use them when I'm kind of short on money. Like I'll purchase those instead if I'm short on money. But for me, I hate how they clump up and they have the worst tapes ever. Standing is actually a bad way to do it for me. I have to be laying down you basically have to be in the proper position. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, I cannot do it standing. Standing is no. But yeah, Tex, the Better Dries are the exact same as the Crinkles. They're just not printed. And they clump terribly. Like there's, when you try these really premium diapers, there's no comparison. The Crinkles and the Better Dry, which are the same, kind of remind me of the Abinas. And I'm not talking the older Abinas. I'm talking the newer version of Abina, which is quite terrible compared to what they used to be, which is kind of sad. But I only use them if I have to. Like if I am strapped for cash and, we can only put like $100 towards stuff, then we get those. Do you change on your bed or on the floor? Never on the bed. Never, ever on the bed. It's too soft. There's too much give. I personally do, like if I'm changing my diaper, I usually do it standing. If Daddy's changing, I lay on the floor. Sometimes I lay on the floor. It just depends on how much of a hurry I am in because it takes me a little bit longer to change if I lay down. So it really depends on if I'm in a hurry or not on how I'll change my diaper. But I've gotten so used to changing standing up with when I was working and stuff that I tend to do that more myself. I get a better fit if I lay down, yes. But I usually just do it standing. All right, and there's the last one cut out. Woohoo! So standing changes, they are hard. Not for me. Personally, it's not hard. I use a wall. And I pretty much do the exact same motions that I would do laying down. It's just standing. I prop the diaper against the wall. I pull up the front. I tape the bottom tapes first, and then I tape the top tapes. And really, once you've got the bottom tapes done, you're pretty much good to go. So yeah, but it's really not that hard once you get the hang of it to change in a standing position. So I'm a pro. At this point, yeah, I kind of am. I've been at this incontinence thing since 2007. I had my first surgery in 2005, end of 2005, and the incontinence really picked up in 2007. So, yeah, I've been at it for quite some time. So, but yeah, the one problem with full piece PJs is you either have to undo it all the way to scratch a leg, or you have to put your arm in. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining the stream. It has been fun, and I will hopefully do it again soon. I can't guarantee when yet, but I would like to do them more often. So, yeah, I'm going to go find some food because I'm starving. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with me. And if you have any other questions you would like answered on Twitter, I put a post up. I believe the hashtag I'm using is, I want to say Ask Back in Diapers, something like that, but I'm going to be doing a Q&A video here before too long. How about I don't cook? I hate cooking. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is putting cheese on a wrap, putting that in the microwave, and then putting ham on it, and that's it. So, yeah, I don't cook. I really despise cooking. So it's yeah. There's already someone who does the ABDL cooking stuff, so I'm not really gonna try to get in on that particular thing because I don't want to step on his toes. And I really enjoy his channel, so I'm not gonna take over something he does. But yeah, I don't like cooking. I can cook too, I just don't like it. I am all about the easy stuff. I'll do pasta and sauce and all that stuff, but I really don't prefer to do much cooking at all. And I can do it. I can make really good food. I just don't. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to head off. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.